Hey, today we're going to hang out with this dwarf Lepar. I'm actually kidding. It's just the only one that didn't have people standing beside him so that I could do that shit. So we're just going to go up here. This is actually a video about honing. So you've reached tier 1, maybe tier 2, maybe tier 3. If you're tier 2 or tier 3 and you need this video, then there's probably something wrong with you. So this is more of a beginner video. When it comes to gear honing, you're going to go to this symbol on the map. Actually, I'm going to show you it over here. So, gear honing. You can turn off everything on the legend, just gear honing. It's a big hammer. Whatever major city you're in will always have a gear honing location. So we can talk to the gear honing guy here. You're going to have your gear is going to pop up. Whatever's in your inventory, you're going to be honing your final gear set for that tier. So either 302, 802, or I believe the last set is like 1100, or it's high up there. So you're more worried about your 302 set. In my case, this character is in tier 2, so my gear's a little bit higher level and looks different. You're going to start out with something like this, where it is a whatever 02, so in this case it's an 802, but yours will be a 302. So when you go to level it up, this is basically what we're doing. I'm going to show you the items. You're going to have, at tier 1, you'll have Harmony Leap Stones, Destruction Stones, and Guardian Stones. The red stones are always for your weapon. The blue stones are always for your armor. The Leap Stones come in around, I think it's level 3 or so on the early stuff. They don't make you use them right away. These are all things you can acquire from doing your daily content, missions, islands, all kinds of different places. So you can always choose to use the codex to find out where to find each item. So the way it works, you take your piece of gear, you click on upgrade. This is going to spend your crystal, either harmony shards, life shards. That's another currency that you're bringing up during. It's only used for honing. So we can max it out. So in this case, it's taking 6,000 shards to do the initial upgrade. So we're going to upgrade it there. Now it's at 100%. It's ready to have materials put into it to try to level it up. So a couple things on here that we want to understand. At tier 2, things start costing gold. At tier 1, it's going to cost silver. So at tier 1, not too much of a problem. But when you want to hone, it's going to use the resources of that tier. So on armor, it's going to be the blue crystals. Your leap stones are for both. And in tier 2, you actually add in a third material called a fusion material. So some quick things here. If you click on this little magnifying glass, it's going to show you what it's going to upgrade into. So we're going to add 20 item level, and we're going to get these stats. When you go to hone, you have a couple things that sound similar but are actually different. You have a percentage chance to succeed all the way until I believe it's level 6, it's 100%, and then it starts taking 10% off for every 2. So you'll go from 7 and 8 will be 90% chance. So if you fail, you lose these materials here. You don't lose the shards that you just put in to get this to 100%. You lose everything that's here, as well as what the honing cost was. So it's quite a big penalty if you fail, and that's just part of the game. It's RNG, you gotta grind, you gotta get your stuff to do your honing to get better gear. Now, the artisan energy, or when you fail, you gain a percent chance to succeed the next time. So on the, and it usually seems to be about the 1/10 of your chance. So if it's 90%, you gain something like 9% on the next one. So it'll become a 99. And then if you fail that again, which I have, that 1% failure rate really sucks, but it will happen every now and then. Well, 1% of the time. That is different from this artisan energy. Artisan energy, you get like 20 to 30% every time you fail. And this is a safety net. So if you fail, I think it's like 5 times, this will fully fill up, and the next craft will always guarantee. So this is your safety net. You can only fail up to 5 times on tier 1 and tier 2 gear. I'm not sure about tier 3. I believe there's actually some even harder systems there. So now that we have this fully filled up and we understand what's going to happen if we fail, we're going to pray that we don't fail. So we're going to click gear honing. So you can see I'm at a higher level, so my success chance is only 60%. I have a cap of 90%. So you actually can't get 100% at the tier that I'm tier 2. So here's that artisan energy thing I was talking about. So if I fail, it's going to go up by 27.9%, and you can add in additional material and special materials. So the breaths, there's a moon breath is for tier 2. Tier 1 is I can't remember the name of the breath, but it is a green version. So tier 1 is green, tier 2 is blue, tier 3 is red. So we can add 1.5% chance to succeed with each one of these moon's breaths. So you can add in a maximum of 20 of them on a craft. I only have 6 here right now for this example, so I'm going to get a 69% chance to succeed with a maximum being 90%. So like you can never get 100% on this tier. Early on, tier 1, you can always get 100% if you use some of those materials. Now, the special material on the right, you can get these as well to add additional honing chance. This is basically the thing. This is where tier 2 you get these, tier 1 you don't. This is to negate that failure, the forced failure rate. They're expensive right now, but those are things that you can get to try to not have a bad time. So I'm going to click gear honing here, and the reason I've taken so long is because I usually do this with 20 moon's breaths, so I have the best chance possible. You can just slam them out with whatever materials you want and not have any bonus, but I'm just sick of failing. So let's see if we get to capture my failure here. So you'll click the button, it's going to pop up, and then you click check results. Now it's going to do something, either fail or succeed. Yay, it succeeded! So I succeeded on a 69% chance. You know, very often I personally have failed on those. So you can see the item level's gone up, all those stats that we saw before, but the artisan energy has been reset because we succeeded, so it will not stay. So now that's a level 13 item. So you need to level up each of your pieces of gear. You can see that the cost has gone up on the materials. The experience has gone up. It used to be 6,000, now it's 7,500. So it's just a grind to get all the way up there. Once you get to plus 15, so level 15 on it, you can then move on to the next set. You can move on to tier 2, plus 15 in tier 2, you move on to tier 3. And in tier 3, it's just an endless grind. I believe their max level right now is plus 20. So this is gear honing in a nutshell. Apparently there is a chaos gate that just spawned. So that is pretty much how you do that there. The second portion is gear transfer. So what happens if I drop a better piece of gear for quality and I want to move stuff over? You can do gear transfer, you could click the item, and you can move that quality, the plus 13, over to the other item for just a little bit of silver. So you don't have to worry about losing your stats when you move it over onto another piece of gear. I'm not going to do it here because this one is a blue tier, this one is a higher tier that I got from a raid, so I'm not going to do that. Now, one key note, when you hit plus 15 and you move into the next tier, so you go from tier 1 to tier 2, if you take the first set of gear you get in tier 2, which will be 802, just like this one, you want to take your old tier 1 gear that is plus 15 and is now useless to you. You want to come in here and you want to do the gear transfer over onto it. It'll take it from a plus 15 and it'll make your new tier 2 item a plus 1. So you get to skip that first upgrade just by consuming your old item. Very, very good for saving some resources, which you're going to need in tier 2. It's a bit of a... So that's been gear honing, and cheers.